And a very good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It's Monday night. It's just a shade after 9. And we're back with this week's live episode of Tea and Tops. As always, my name is Graham, and I'm joined by my good friend Jason. Jason, how we doing?
Doing great. Glad Easter break's over and we're back into the grind of working again. And glad baseball is back. Like I said, we're very excited to have baseball on for the next 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, school kids' Easter holidays are done with. My kids were back today up here in Aberdeen. I assume you were the same. Is that right? Kids back today?
Kids back today, absolutely shattered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Grumpy as
completely.
hell.
So grumpy. Yeah, did not want to go. And yeah, well, it was nice to get some peace and quiet once again. But yeah, we're back after missing the live show 2 weeks ago. We did release our podcast special. So if you missed us that 2 weeks ago, we did record an episode and stuck it out purely as a podcast. So you can get that now on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast from. And of course, this week's episode will be available as a podcast from next Monday. A podcast which we should remind you has been nominated in the 2023 UK Card Collector Awards for Podcast of the Year. And we greatly appreciate your votes. You can check out all the information on where to vote. It's linked in our bio on Instagram, and I'm also going to update the website tonight to provide a better link to it as well. So check us out, tntops.com. You can vote for us in the Podcast of the Year section, and we would greatly appreciate that. And while you're there, you could give us a like on the old Facebooks, and you can get us subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitch. You can follow us across our socials. That would be very much appreciated.
So we know we have millions and millions of followers there, but we just need like 20 of you.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah. Get those
But,
votes in. That would be tip top.
I mean, when you're India's largest British sports card podcast, you've got to have some people right in for it. So
yeah, we need to harness the population of India to get those votes in and really power us through the line. If we got over 1 billion votes, I think somebody might call bullshit, but we need to harness that audience as best we can.
yes, yeah. Well, somehow we can do it. So yeah, thanks whoever's listening in India. It's always interesting to look at their stats and see who's watching, who's listening to us from where. So that was a new one.
Exactly right. I don't know how much of it is VPN shenanigans, but we like to lean into the meme if nothing else. So we're back this week, and it's good to be back live again. Looking back, I suppose at some product releases that have happened in the last, I would say last couple of weeks, but we were a bit cheeky and we recorded on Easter Sunday, so we sort of it's really only been a week since we last looked at the new products that have come out. Only one to really talk about, one of any real great interest. 2022. So despite the fact it's 2023, we're still getting a lot of 2022 releases rolled out by Tops, and the latest of those was Tops Dynasty, which came out just on Friday past. I think I'm right in saying it's, well, perhaps with the exception of Transcendent, but I guess on a price per card basis, this even blows Transcendent out of the water. So possibly, depending on how you like to calculate your metrics, the highest end product that Tops will release in a release year, 2022 Tops Dynasty. So currently, it's available here in the UK, which is rather incredible. I don't think I'd see Dynasty for sale here at £799 and 99 pence per box.
Let me just get my checkbook here.
Yeah. Or if you use a new email address to sign up, you can get 10% off of that price. So for the bargain price of £720, which makes it entirely more livable, you can get your box of 2022 Tops Dynasty, which includes, count them, one card.
Wow, one card. Okay,
that's you.
Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, gosh, that's that's out of my budget.
Yeah. I mean, let's get it straight. It's not like a shed long big league base card you're getting for that money. It is also, all of the cards are hand signed. They're all numbered to 10 or less. There's incredible stuff like dual autographs. I've seen a couple of Trout and Otani dual autographs out in the wild already, which look phenomenal. There's jumbo patches this year, autograph jumbo patches. You can get triple autograph patch cards as well. Quite a few 101s. You can get cut signatures. So there's like Babe Ruth, 101 Babe Ruth cut signatures, and all manner of exotic things. But not every card is an absolute killer, but you're going to get something pretty cool regardless. And if you're playing in that rare air, I'm sure you're going to enjoy opening yourself some 2022 Topps Dynasty. I ran the gauntlet, spun the roulette wheel. I got involved in a high-end break.
Ooh, when was this? You didn't tell me about this.
Yeah, I'm saving it, you see.
Good.
I took 3 random spots in a high-end break that included, let me think, a box of Ben Baller, a box of 2022 Museum Collection, 2022 Tribute, 2022 5-Star, and 2022 Dynasty. So, death by randomizer, I got the Giants, the Braves, and the Athletics.
Oh no! I was like, okay, the Braves, right?
But I know that's what I thought. I thought maybe a nice Acuna, that would be sweet.
Yep, Maddox, Glavine, Chipper Jones.
Yeah, it could have been all manner of good stuff in there. But I thought it was kind of funny. So I took three random spots at $99 a spot as a bit of a laugh. I thought it would make good content. And yeah, just the driest possible breaks, I think, because I didn't get to have my Transcendent fix this year. This was like my Transcendent treat. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously got a few base cards out the baller box, and I think I might have got like something numbered out of Tribute, and I think maybe a relic card out of Museum. I watched the break back at like 2 times speed because we were the break happened at about 2 a.m. UK time, and then we were up and at them the next morning with it being the Easter holidays. The kids wanting to get away out to do stuff, so I watched it at double pace, but really looking for the big stuff. So sort of started at Dynasty at the end and worked backwards, and didn't get anything that's going to break the bank. I'm certainly not considering retiring. But yeah, it was kind of fun just to watch some of it being opened and see some of the cool stuff that came out of it. But unfortunately, no goodies for me.
So yeah, so you got stuck with like 10 Jason Hayward cards.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like I say, it kind of keeps with my my run of Transcendent. But it's kind of fun as a bit of a once a year sort of splash. It's kind of fun getting involved in these things, but I can understand why the chase for some people can be very addictive, because you think, oh, it's only $99, that's not bad. And, you buy 3 spots, you get it for like $2.92, so you save yourself like $7 or something like that. Like, maybe just another one, but I didn't. I stuck to 1 break, and yeah, it didn't do fantastically, but that's part of the fun, I suppose. It's part of the fun.
I mean, yeah, it's all part of the chase there. So I can see why people get addicted to it, and it's becoming 100%. A bigger and bigger thing in the hobby. I was like, I didn't hit anything. Okay, well, this time around, I'll put another $100 down and see what happens.
Yeah. This is why breaking, I guess, especially in the UK, sits in a very gray area of, is it gambling? Is it not gambling? It's again, and in far earlier episodes. In fact, I think all the way back in season 1, we talked at some length about breaking and sort of comparing it to the loot box mechanic that you get within video games like FIFA and MLB The Show and stuff like that. And there's many schools of thought on, is it gambling or is it not gambling? But it's certainly, I can certainly see how people can get addicted to it. That's for sure.
Yep, absolutely. There was a research come out of that. That's the only reason I brought it up. Somebody had said that was linked to gambling, and definitely there was become psychological and addicted to it. So,
yeah.
I can't remember where I saw that, but I know as we talked before, I was doom scrolling for many nights over the Easter break. So
yeah,
I had read something about that where people are becoming an addiction now. So
yeah, I am not surprised. I'm not surprised. So yeah, that was really the big release from the last couple of weeks that was worth talking about. We're starting to get into the meat and potatoes of baseball card season, like as Jason mentioned. actual physical baseball is back. And we're starting to see some more 2023 releases coming out in the next couple of weeks. So between now and when we're next on air, is there 31 days in this month, or is it the 1st of May that we're back?
Oh, man, I'll check real quick here.
I'm trying to check as well, but my poor old computer is having the worst.
Nope,
No, it's the 1st of May.
1st of May.
Yeah. So between now and the 1st of May, we have Archives Signature Series Active Player Edition, which is coming out. So Archives Signature Series, you may remember from earlier on in this year. So it's a buyback product. What does that mean? So basically the Topps will take any old card of any old player, stamp it to say 2023 Archive Signature Series, and then get a player to sign it, and then, in some cases call it a 101, even though it could be like a Bowman base card from 5 years ago, and they put signature on it and call it a 101 and stick it in a case. Unlike the Dynasty, which is also a single encased card product, Archives is only $85. So comparatively speaking, an absolute bargain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So instead of £800 for a single card, you can pay, it'll probably be about 80 quid, I would imagine, when it releases, assuming it releases on Topps UK. I imagine it will. Signature Series from early in the year certainly did. I imagine around about £80 you can get yourself one encased card. Did I buy one this year? No, I think it was last year. I threw one in with an order I was placing just for a bit of a lull to see what I got out of it. But I'm a bit cynical about Archive Signature Series and the fact that it is just cards that have already existed that they buy back or they have lying around in a dusty corner of the warehouse, and they put a special stamp on and get a player to sign it and then try and pass it off as a 101. It's a little bit cheeky in my eyes, but hey, reduce, reuse, recycle, right?
What was it? I'm trying to think. Who's the athlete that does the cards? I'm trying to think of his name is Phil Hughes. Phil had showed that he would sign 800 cards last year or 2 years ago. So, and that was all for Archives.
That's right. Yeah. For Archive Signature Series. Yeah. And I think he counted off there was 24 different 101s that he signed just for that one product. Yeah. So it's a bit cynical.
Yeah. I mean, I like Phil Hughes, but I don't know how excited it would be to get his autograph. It's I mean, Shedlong and then Phil Hughes.
Hughes. Come on. So as a proud and passionate Yankees fan, I'd be quite happy to have a Phil Hughes autograph. I think I have a Phil Hughes autograph floating around somewhere. I'll need to go back through my collection and find out. But so that's coming out on the 21st then, Archive Signature Series, if you like your encased autographs. On the 26th of April, possibly the second biggest release of the year, 2023. So again, another 2023 product. 2023 Bowman Baseball is coming out on the 26th. So Bowman is the prospect heavy set. We have two separate, you have a 100 card base set, and then you have a subset within that of the, sorry, let me try that again. You have a base set of 100 cards and a second set within the main release of 150 prospect cards. So you're really building two sets if you're into your set building. Jason, you'll be pleased to hear you can keep your money in your pocket because Gabriel Rincones does not have any cards in 2023 Bowman. So, so you can keep your $280 for a hobby box with one autograph, or $530 for your jumbo hobby box with 3 autographs. You can keep hold of that money and spend it on something else.
That's a damn shame. Gabriel's tearing it up down in Clearwater right now. He's got 5 stolen bases already. Yeah, I mean, checking every day. Yeah, he had his first home run the other day. Broke up a no-hitter in the 7th, and then he's got 5 stolen bases besides having graded at a speed of 20 out of 60 out there. I think he's trying to prove everyone wrong. He's I got wheels.
Is it these larger bases making the difference? Is that what it is?
Apparently that 3 inches makes all the difference to that.
It's certainly, I mean, when we look into, we're heading off down a wormhole here, but when you look at the statistics that are coming out from Major League Baseball for the first however many games in the season, we are at the minute, all of which the Rays appear to have won, apart from one. We're 13 games in and they're 12-1 or something. Yeah, like some of the stats are crazy. Like game times are down by like an hour, basically. Stolen base attempts are way up. Successful stolen bases are way up. Amount of runners getting thrown out is way down. Billy Bean will be turning in his general manager grave right now.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, so I'm looking at there's about 16 games. Looks like the most has been played at the moment. So yeah, so we're like week 3. This is week 4 of the season. Yeah, I think it's good. The Angels and somebody played a game under 2 hours the other day. Like, I don't know. I'm torn on this. Like, I like the faster pace being a UK based fan because that means I'm not staying up till 3 o'clock anymore.
Yeah, we're only up until 3 a.m. and not 4.
Yeah. But you're seeing it, at least if you don't know, I also run the Mariners UK account. I don't know if people actually know that. And you're seeing people moaning that you now have to show up to the game early to get more of the fan experience, because if you try to show up at game time, you blink and you miss it, and next thing you know, 2 hours you're out the door again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Yankees fans will be furious at that. Yankee Stadium, famous as it is for being empty for like the first 3-4 innings, and then it gradually starts to fill up after that. So yeah, they'll really need to get their finger out their backside. I saw that Matt Stram, formerly of the Padres and now with the Phillies, I think, I can't remember where he's gone, had said that I believe previously you couldn't buy a beer after the 7th.
Yep, I was wondering if you're going this way with that, but yeah,
so he had commented on that. Yeah, you couldn't buy a beer after the 7th. The idea being, and this seems ridiculous to those of us in the UK, especially those in Scotland, which has basically a zero tolerance to drink driving. But you couldn't buy a beer after the 7th, so you had a little bit of time to sober up again before you got in your car and drove home. Like, that just sounds ludicrous to say it loud for a kickoff, but whatever. But so you would think, well, if the games are taking like 45 minutes, or however, whatever the average is, 40 minutes less per game, then they're going to have to move that beer stop earlier in the game, maybe say the 5th or the 6th inning. Nope, they've done the opposite and they've pushed it the other way. Now you can buy beer all the way through the game.
So Milwaukee was the first team to push that forward, and they said you can now buy up to the 8th inning or maybe the 9th inning there. So if you're not familiar with U.S. drinking and driving laws, so it's usually about 0.08 or 0.10. So you basically can have a beer an hour and still be legally able to drive there. It's perfectly normal stateside. It seems absolutely ludicrous over here because I know I've been here for 20 years now, and it's like, I wouldn't want to get in a car with somebody that's been drinking anymore. I've been here that long, so
it's so crazy. As somebody who grew up and saw the change in the drink driving law, it used to kind of be you could have maybe like you could have a couple and drive and you'd be fine. And now just the idea of even, you know, if I'm planning on having a drink, I just don't take the car. It's literally a zero. It's just not worth it, because if they catch you, it's not like, you know, you get a little slap on the wrist and you get sent on your way. It's like, you know, like you lose your license if you get caught drink driving. Like there's no ifs, buts, or maybe. You're getting banned if you get caught drink driving. The price of your insurance goes through the roof. You know, the sheer inconvenience of not being able to have a car and whatever else. You know, it's just simply not worth it. And then you know, we enjoy a holiday in Florida. They have a very, very liberal attitude towards the amount that you can have a drink and then get in the car. And as visitors to the fair nation of the United States, it can seem kind of crazy at times. I know, like, Texas is obviously quite famous for it as well, you know, being just literally so enormous. And it's like, well, what choice do I have? You know, if I have to go 2 or 3 miles to go and get a beer or whatever, I have no choice but to drive home, or you just have to do it. But yeah, it seems really wild. But I thought that was quite an interesting comeuppance with the quicker games now.
Yeah. So one interesting that no one has mentioned yet is obviously marijuana is legal in a lot of these states now. So I don't know how much sales are actually doing a beer, and you know, you might just have a little smoke outside the stadium before you go in, or maybe drop a gummy and sit there for 3 hours there. You don't really need a drink, so
you might not need a drink. That's very true. Yeah, that would be an interesting case study in somewhere like Colorado that's had the marijuana laws for quite a while. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like. But then, you know, the beer's so cheap in Colorado, especially at the stadium, then maybe you still would. I saw another table on social media somewhere about, you know, the total price to go and see a game in 2022. So it's like the price of like 2 adult, 2 kids tickets. I think the price of like 2 beers, 2 drinks, 4 hot dogs, and something else. It added them all up. Colorado had one of the cheapest beer prices, and I remember that stuck in my head.
Coors Stadium, like, might as well make it cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's literally a brewery in the stadium as well, which helps.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, it's crazy. I saw that as well. I think the Mariners were middle of the table, which seems about right there. But I was also looking at minor league prices because hopefully get at least 1 game or 2 games on back home. And yeah, you can sit behind home plate up at Everett Aqua Sox, a single A affiliate of the Mariners and home of King Harry Ford for $25.
That's really good. Yeah, but the last time I was in New York, when the Staten Island Yankees were still a thing, rest in peace, Staten Island Yankees. Yeah, my wife and I went on the night we got there to try and fend off the jet lag. We went to Staten Island to watch a game. We sat behind home plate at the Staten Island Yankees for like, I think it was like $18 a head or something like that. It was incredible. It was so good. Sitting drinking prosecco at the ball game. It's rather crazy, but to each their own.
And then you went and drove.
Yeah. In New York, heck no.
But yeah, anyways, as we go off on a random tangent here.
Yeah, here we go. Random tangents. See, it's this kind of quality content that gets us nominated for Podcast of the Year.
Exactly. You turned into kind of a sports cards. Here we're talking about drinking and driving.
We're talking about drink driving. Yeah, there we go. See, you never know what you're going to get.
Absolutely. That's why people love us, especially
exactly.
in India.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Right, I can't think of a solid segue based off of that now.
I think you can. There's no way you can go from that.
There's no way. I don't know where to go from that.
Drive into the next segue.
Yeah. Drink driving. Well, we could stumble blind drunk across to the world of Top Bunt. Then let's go.
Top Bunt. So we kind of covered a little bit there. So the last 2 weeks we had came up with Big League. And if you're a big fan of Big League, I thought it was really a lot of fun. And with it was a little kind of event with that there. So you have to go through the 7 tiers as usual, open 1 pack, spin the wheel, open a box. And then it's just like, then you get the end where it's like, okay, I need to open 10 packs and then collect 100 cards. So it gets a little pricey towards the end there. But at the end goal of that, you get a nice shiny rainbow super rare card, which I thought would be pretty cool. And I was looking at the numbers before we started, and the rares are already in the 2000s. So it's not good. Wow. And I mean the super rares, not even the rares, the super rares are the 2000s. So but it's fun. Like I said, I like the fact they had the mascots in there and I can get the rally monkey. That really made my day. But it was also very odd where they had like I think the Diamondbacks is Baxter, the Bobcat or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what it is there, but it says mascot instead of actually like his name. Maybe that's just the error on that there. But it was a random one. So the only reason I was looking for it because I was hoping to get the Mariner Moose, which hasn't made it yet. So
I see. Is the Mariner Moose in the checklist, or
he is not in the set, unfortunately? So
that's unfortunate. That does suck.
It does suck. So a little bit disappointed with that. So, but yeah, Big League's fun. They had like it was the drip clothes, so they had all the young players in their fancy clothes that they like to wear,
snazzy pants that they had on. Yeah,
exactly. And it's looking more and more like the NBA every day, where you just kind of wear some really strange clothes and call it fashion. Call me old white guy, but
I was going to say this feels like an old man shouts at cloud moment. I'm getting some Abe Simpson vibes from you right now.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. If I had that kind of money, I would do that. Yeah, like I said, that's not me. I'm a Jersey kind of guy, 24/7.
There you go. Yeah.
And then Mystic came out on Friday. So if you're a fan of the Mystic cards, they look almost, I want to say, almost exactly like they were last year. It didn't seem like there was much of a difference on there. Still kind of fun. Nice set to do. There was some, let's see, I was able to hit my big, sexy Bartolo Colon iconic on that. So
that's a sweet card. Yeah, you really smashed the pack odds on that as well. Because I think it was like 1 in 800 or something.
800, yeah. That's why kind of
iconic, yeah.
So excited to hit that there because I still haven't spent any money. I'm still waiting for Inception to drop. So but yeah, but we'll spend probably 20 quid on Inception there, considering like a box is like what 150, so I can spend 10% on that and be like, okay, I'll have that. But so I think it came out there. Gold Label finishes up this Friday, so if you haven't finished your Gold Label yet, here's your chance to do so. They have the Easter cards, I think we talked about briefly on the last podcast there. If you're chasing those for a reason, and right before the show started, Aces Series 2 came out. So you can pick up your aces, your pitching aces there. And we obviously talked about how pitchers have zero value, but there is a Shohei Ohtani card in there. And if you still want it, Luis Castillo of the Mariners, I'm going to say, throw his name out there. But yes, so there was only 150,000 packs, and there was less than 100,000 when we started the show. So who knows how many left now.
Yeah, it might well all be done by then. That's interesting you brought up Inception. I was just looking on the release calendar to see if 2023 Inception has appeared yet, and it has not. So still no sign of Inception coming. So we'll see. It will be actually be interesting to see if it does appear in Bunt, because if it appears in Bunt, we'll probably see a physical release of it. Yeah, those Aces cards are actually really cool. So that spawned from an insert. That was the Aces were an insert set, can't speak properly tonight, within 2023 Series 1 baseball. So it's kind of cool to see them get that little standalone release, which Topps do quite often with Bunt, is they'll take the insert sets out of other hobby sets from the physical card space and make them their own collection within Bunt. So it's kind of cool to see a second series of them. They look really good in the physical set, and I think they look really good on Bunt as well.
I agree. I think they're cool. I saw those come out and people were opening those up and thought those are actually really cool. And when this being Series 2, Series 1 came out, people were very disappointed that they went out so quickly. I'm just pulling up now to see if there was anything left here. And yep, there's 56,000 left. So there's no doubt by the time this show ends,
they'll probably be away. Yeah,
they'll be gone. So if you don't hear anything from Graham, it's because he's fiercely opening up packs right now to see try to get a few of those cards. But yeah, funny enough,
I got my phone plugged in here.
Yeah, go for it. Funny enough, I hit almost more super rare cards than I did rares because I was opening up as the show gets. I hit 4.
That is interesting. Yeah,
and with the 1 in 50 odds, I mean, I opened probably $100,000, $150,000 pounds coins worth of cards, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, Topps pretend money. Let's make that clear before your wife stabs you.
Yes, good thing she doesn't listen to the podcast. But yes,
just like my wife.
Yeah, exactly. That's because they're not in India.
Yeah.
And I probably spent between that much money to hit, but I hit 4 super rares, so I was pretty chuffed about that. So, I thought it was with the 1 in 50 odds, it seemed like I had beat the system at least this time. So
absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, it's still fun. I'm curious. It's definitely. I don't know about you, but my coins are dwindling fast. I'm finding that we need a contest soon, so we can actually start building the coins back up again.
Oh, we're looking for that tribute contest again, aren't we?
Yeah, tribute, that was a great one. And obviously it was Heritage last year, but even I'm finding with the Star Wars app that I'm going through coins in that as well, even though this is a bit of event, and it's a loss leader, so I think you get like 5,000 coins out of it after you do it, and it's just like, that's not fun. Like I want to build everything up. I don't want to be spending my coins. Like at one point I was always at 9 million. I'm at 6.5 now. Like,
golly.
We
all got our 42,000 free coins on Saturday for Jackie Robinson Day, of course.
That's true. Yeah. So I blew through that. No.
I currently have 9.3 million coins.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. I don't go mad on the sets too often. Like I said, I still might do big league from this one, but yeah, I kind of like just. I think I've spoken a few times about this, but I like logging on every day and like completing the daily tasks, and if there's the odd set here and there that I want to try and put together, then I will. I think the most recent set I completed, and if you listen to the podcast episode, you'll know it's the Disney Play Ball set, so the baseball theme set in the Disney Collect app, rather than a baseball theme set in the baseball app. So there you go. That's how obtuse my collecting is.
But I mean, I guess that's fair. I guess I always try to put the base set together for almost every set, so I'll go and open up, knowing that if the set's 99 cards, then I open up just enough packs to kind of hit the 99 and then start trading my way there. Funny enough, I think I've passed 5,000 trades.
Wow, that's pretty good going. Gosh.
Yeah. I was looking through that. I was like, gosh, I've actually gone through 5,000 trades.
That's pretty mad. But then you were trading really hard towards the end of last year for one of the sets, weren't you?
Yeah, Inception. I'm always do that.
Yeah,
Tribute.
right,
yeah, I trade pretty hard on that one there. So, but yeah, I guess that's kind of the same thing. I like. Hate to say that I live the most exciting night, but Friday night at 6:00, you can find me bunting away and opening up 50 to 100 packs to have the whole set, and then trading them as much of there. So from 6 to 7 at night, I'm probably the most annoying person in the house because I just sit there with my phone and open packs and trade with people.
Golly, that's a good way to do it, though, right? That's so Friday night at 6 p.m. is when the weekly release set comes out, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's what it is there. It's the most active time. It's the most time you get. I wouldn't say deals on stuff, but everyone's trying to finish their set, so you can trade for a superstar and have a good player trade, and nobody will care because you're trying to finish your set. Whereas if you wait 24 hours and all of a sudden you need an Otani card, you're not going to get that without giving another superstar up. And
yeah.
And then saying that, I think I have like 100 people following me now, so I have a fairly solid base of people who are willing to trade me star for star. So, which has been, I guess, the bugaboo of having J-Rod being who he is now. So anytime I try to get a J-Rod card, everyone wants Otani or Trout or whatever. So
Yeah,
it's
of
annoying.
course, right?
It's not like I'm hoarding them. It's just trying to get the one card to have every Mariner card from the year. But luckily, there's enough people that don't mind. At least I can trade with them, their star for my star, and not have to like beg people for. Here's 3 rares for the 1 rare because it's J-Rod.
Yeah. It's still a pretty good quest to try and get each Mariner card. That'll be a good one to keep tabs on through the year. But yeah, I guess the J-Rod tax is just as real in the digital world as it is in the physical world, right?
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, hey, I mean, if you're an Orioles fan, it's the Adley card. If you're a Royals fan, it's Bobby Witt. It's the same, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's very cyclical, isn't it?
No one's begging for the Pablo Lopez cards from the Twins or Carlos Correa. It's just not the same thing.
Not quite the same thing. No. Well, good on Bunt then. Like I say, I'm enjoying keeping up with it. And like I said, I think I'll probably open a few more big league before the end, or try and get the reward for it certainly before that product leaves us for the year. I'm not good on segues tonight. I can't think of one.
It's because you're busy trying to work in your career, and we're all busy at the moment there. So.
I've got like half an eye on the football as well. I've got the football, and it's very unprofessional. I'm sitting with the Liverpool Leeds game, watching Liverpool Leeds playing football while we're talking about this. So yeah, I don't have a good segue at all to get us to talk a little bit about Topps UK. So whilst researching the show tonight, I was actually 2 things. One, I was very surprised that we got a UK release of Topps Dynasty, and secondly, I was surprised that it's available in the UK so soon after release in the US, because we've often seen in the past that products, especially flagship products, can take kind of 4, 5, 6, up to 7 days before they appear on Topps UK after they get their release in the US. So I was perusing through the hobby section of Topps UK, and if you're a seasoned user of that of Topps UK website, you'll know that where you find all the hobby boxes for not just baseball, but baseball, basketball, MLS, lacrosse, Garbage Pail Kids, anything you want to buy the box, that's where you find it on Topps UK. So I had a quick look at it, and at the moment, excluding the Garbage Pail Kid stuff, because I think it's figurines more than it's actual cards at the moment that's on sale there. There's 29 products currently in stock and available for purchase from Topps UK, and unfortunately, 55% of them that are available are baseball. So. And there's even products available going back as far as 2021. So you can still buy from Topps UK right now 2021 product. And that led me to have a bit of a think. I thought, well, that's interesting, because for a good long time, we've complained that, the community in the UK, one of the hardest products or one of the hardest problems to overcome was the fact that we couldn't get our hands on product reliably. People were backdooring it from the US or however they were getting in from the States, but we basically had no choice other than to buy from the US. There's the big online retailers like Dave & Adams and Blowout that we've used. There's the local card supply guys who also cover the UK, like Leighton's obviously were really popular for a while because they would ship to the UK for free and people were buying boxes from there. And when we finally started getting the products here in the UK, I think initially the demand, supply versus demand was obviously too much demand and not enough supply. The constant complaint was products were out of stock all the time. But now we're seeing that they're perhaps not getting the mix quite right. If you've only got 29 products available and more than half of them are baseball products, then or something, they're obviously they've not found the happy place for this yet. They've not found the right spot, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure why. So, what do you think? Why do we think they're getting it wrong? Have they got the supply and demand wrong, or are collectors not interested in opening boxes anymore? Is it still just people want to chase that hit that we've talked about? Do they want that Shed Long card? Do they want that J-Rod card? Are people buying it cheaper elsewhere? We obviously have a number of UK suppliers now, which can often get product quicker. They can get it to market quicker than Topps UK can. So are people just not prepared to wait that few days and are happy to pay a slight premium to get it on or very, very close to release? There's lots of different options. I don't think I have a good answer, but for a long time, when we complained so much about not being able to get product, and now that Topps are releasing product, it's not selling out, then that it makes me a little bit wary for the future of baseball releases. I mean, hopefully I'm reading too much into it, and obviously with Fanatics wanting to push and expand the market so much, I think we'll continue to see product. I don't think Topps are going to start not selling here again. But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. So this is a question for the podcast listeners, and if you're watching live, of course, because we can see your comments. But if you're if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, they've launched a very cool new feature, a new Q&A feature. So you should have a question that goes along with this episode of the podcast. Why do you think that baseball products are not selling out in the UK? Let us know what you think, and we'll gather your feedback, and we'll talk about it again in a future episode. I don't know what your thoughts on it might be there, Jason, but
I think there's a combination of a few things there. One, probably, would you look for it even more? I mean, if you're a collector and you rarely see it in Topps UK, would you look for it?
It's a good question because they don't advertise their drops very well.
No. I mean, like I said, like the Dynasty thing blows my mind. I think it's literally, they must have, it's like we always say, like they sent a pallet of cards over, it got slipped in the box, and they're like, shit, now we've got a box of Dynasty that we have to sell. That there's probably 2 people in the country that may want this. It's at most, I mean, if you look at it in theory, that's almost half to third to a quarter of someone's salary.
For one card,
for one card
for a box. I mean, price is obviously a big factor for a lot of people as well, and to pay £800 for a box or £800 for one card is obviously crazy. One of the other products that hasn't sold out and is still available is Bowman Draft from last year, and the jumbo boxes are on Topps UK at £700. So there's some expensive boxes, but there's some not so expensive boxes either. Like UK edition is still there. There's Inception from last year. It's still available. Yeah. Look at his eyes light up.
I'm dying to open something up, but yeah. Anyways, go on.
Maybe I'll have to get a case of Inception. So yeah, like I said, it was such a wide range of available product, and going back so far that I couldn't really think of one good reason why. So like I say, if you're listening and you have your ideas and you're on the old Spotify platform, take a look at the Q&A question that's going along with this episode, and you can give us your feedback directly within Spotify, and we'll see it. Which is quite a cool new feature, actually. So yeah, we might do some more of those, some more poll questions, some more Q&As for future episodes as well.
Absolutely, keep your eye out. We'll come up with something every week to make it interesting, to say at least, and see how many thousands of you people vote for this there. And
let's see what the voice of India has to say.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let us know your thoughts on Topps UK and their stock. All right, moving on then. Jason, you've been branching out a little bit into the world of Through the Mail.
I have, and before we get into that one, I did happen to look. The newsletter for Butt came out. It's Gold Label Series 2 coming out Friday.
Oh, okay. So, more shiny stuff.
More shiny stuff there. So yeah, I did. So I had some time this weekend to do a little bit of life maintenance, and I was looking at all these cards that I should have, would have, could have, do something with there. And so I sent a bunch of stuff out of the way. So two things there. So I sent the Dave Parker card from the Alex Party, Dave Parker, that I gave Alex the idea for, and I'm taking full credit for inspiring that damn card. Yeah. And I sent two of his cards away. So one I sent to HGA Grading to get a custom label.
Oh, we're off to hybrid grading. All right, nice.
We did. Yep. I sent it out to hybrid. So it was really interesting there because you can pay for the grade or you can just pay for the label.
Ah, okay.
So if you just pay for the label, it's only 20 business days to get it done. Whereas if you pay for the grade, it obviously took much longer and much cheaper. So just paying for the label was £15, and I think it's a $10 fee for my artwork there. And the interesting about that was you could tell them what you kind of want with a label, and it's left up to them to interpret.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I don't know what I'm getting, other than I kind of said I've asked for to continue with the Friday the 13th theme with my label. And that's all I know.
So you don't get like a proof version to review or anything like that, or
not that I know of. So I submitted it all last night, and I put it in the post probably later this week, and I'll send it that way. And maybe I get some sort of kind of proof to see what I want before it. But regardless, it was something fun. It'll be interesting to do. I plan to we'll post all the photos there. We'll post the timeline of how long it takes to get done there, which should be interesting because again, we're sending it overseas, and I know we have various people who do a sub for this, and I just wanted to do it my own so why not? Let's see how it goes. And
quite right.
I'm just curious what the label is, and the reason I'm doing it is because I'm heading to the States in 10 weeks time. And I'm sending everything to my brother, so hopefully everything's done, and I can just pick it up and take it home with me. Whereas normally it's like I said, I guess I closed down Dugout Classics, and so I no longer have that option to put stuff in the mailbox there and get shipped over once a month.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So did that. So I'm looking forward to that because I had picked up an extra Dave Parker card, and I thought, you know what, let's get a label on that thing, just for the whole process, some content for us out of there. And I'm curious to see what kind of artwork I'm going to get on my label. So
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'm excited to follow that journey as well. I think that'd be pretty fun.
So the second one, so I had two Dave Parkers. This one, I paid my $25 to Pass Pros to get Dave Parker to sign it.
Ah, cool.
So so that was an interesting thing. So I'm trying. I don't know how much I'll go into it with TTM, but knowing again we had inspired the card, I'll go send it to Dave there. Well, that was really interesting. So you pay your fee, they give you his address, and then you still have to provide the envelope and stamps to have it moved on.
Of course,
which is fair enough. Well, whereas what's the HGA? They do everything on. They hold your card until you pay your shipping. So hybrid, keep your card. You don't pay for shipping to the end. So with hybrid, you do everything. You pay for your card, and when it's ready, I that's probably when I'll see my label, or who knows when. Then they said, "All right, we'll ship it," and then you have to pay for it that way. Whereas we'll send it to Pass Pros to give you his address. You send him the card, and then he signs it, and then you still have to put it in the envelope. So it should work out. Fingers crossed. I don't know.
Yeah. That's really interesting. And so I've just looked up that website. I wasn't aware of this. So this is if you're interested in this, pastpros.com. And it says autograph submissions, mail your items directly to former pros, and they have quite a list of not just of baseball, so baseball, hockey, basketball, football. That would be the egg-shaped American football, and even wrestling. So if you're into your wrestling cards, yeah, that's quite a cool little service. I wasn't aware of this website before. They've got some crackers on their homepage. Andre Dawson.
Yep.
Buck Rogers.
Not the space hero, the
Not
Montreal
the
Expos
space guy. Yeah, the
Montreal Expos manager.
Yeah. Who have they got in that's new? Oh.
So it's interesting. So I was going to come on to it later, but so you can pay $20 to have it sent to Pass Pros to Andre Dawson, or you can send directly to Andre Dawson and get it done for $10.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, so he's on my list. I've got a list of there. So yeah, so yeah, well, with that there, I guess I'll go with that. So there is a group you can join, and I've joined this group there, and it's Sports Card Forum. And what they do is you sign up; it's completely free, and they give you a list of addresses. You have a database of any player from any sport. You put it in there, and then they tell you the percentage of their TTM is. So like,
okay.
So I was looking up Rod Crew. So basically what I was doing is looking at all my Project 70 cards going, well, they're not worth anything. It was just money down the drain, but damn, it was fun. And I was like, which athletes, obviously retired athletes, could I potentially send my cards to and see if they could sign it or not? So right now I was looking up Rod Crew, and they have any kind of address for them. And when it works out that way, so it goes the date the mail, date received, the status. So it was either success, failure, or it's pending. How many days it took to get your card back. How many cards you sent. So some people will send like 3 or 1 like that there. And then any kind of comments about it, about that there. And then people can post the image on it as well. So it's pretty cool. So you're getting pretty cool. People are pretty good at saying, all right, this address is no longer any good. This address is still pretty good. And I'm just looking at this. Sending the link. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I've been a complete muppet and put it in the wrong chat.
That's right. Yeah,
I was trying to delete it. I was trying to delete the comments. Like
I was like, oh, we got some comments. All right, no. Yeah.
No,
So I'll send you the link on when we're done. And yeah, so absolutely. So it's interesting. So you can kind of pick, say, probably. I mean, Wade Boggs is in there. Andre Johnson was in there. I mean, I looked for Hall of Famers typically don't sign for free. Like it's not going to happen, but you can get the guys that are very good who probably still can do it, or even older stars that will sign there. So yeah, so it was really interesting. And 2 of the best are Wade Boggs and Andre Dawson, which I had no idea. So
that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool resource to find people. But then, like you say, it's maybe always worth checking direct to see if you can do it directly, because obviously a lot of these guys will do it in return for charitable donations as well, right?
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, so I've got a bunch of them that have gone out now. So I'm sending one to Dennis Eckersley, and he's $20 to sign through his charitable donation. Raleigh Fingers does it for $10 there. And again, these are all Alex Party's Project 70 cards. I'm sending the Wade Boggs. I'm sending the Andre Dawson. Hopefully Jose Canseco. I think he signs for about $10 each.
Nice,
so,
nice.
Get the Canseco cards there, and I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting now? But yeah, that's gosh, there's somebody else that I thought would be fun. Yes, and then I'm going directly to the San Francisco Giants for the Alyssa Nakken cards, the Tops Now ones.
Oh, nice.
So I'm sending her 4 cards there. So the idea is 2 for you, 2 for me. And since we both have 2 girls, and hopefully she'll sign that there. But yeah, apparently she doesn't like to do in the mail. She prefers to do everything in person because she can have a little chat with you.
I see. That's very cool. Well, if we do wind up at the National this year, then that's maybe you never know.
Yes. So yeah. So I've done yeah. So we're gonna go explore some TPMs, see if we have any success at it all. If it gets lost, really have no idea about this. We're just kind of like, oh, this would be kind of fun. If I lose the cards, I lose the cards, but kind of hoping that we don't. But the other thing I did is I'm setting my Ted Williams card to SCG.
Oh, nice.
So I'll get that all set up there, and we'll see how long it takes for there. So I've been sitting on that thing for 2 years, and somebody had posted in Reddit that they had the card, they just got it back, and I was like, you know what, I really need to find out what the grade on this card is, and finally actually do something with it rather than sit in my drawer and go, I should grade that.
Yeah. So did you do another direct submission for that, or did you go through
direct submission with that? Yeah. So I'll put the cost down there so people can see what it would cost just for you to do it. So luckily with the Ted Williams card, it's just in a plastic and mailer, so it's not too bad. So but probably like 5-6 pounds to send it, tracked mail. I think that's what it was the cost.
I think so. Yeah, I think international tracked for a letter is about that. Yeah.
Yeah, large letters, 10 pounds. I know a Project 70 cards tracked is 10 pounds.
Yeah, because the UK idea of a letter is basically a single folded A4 sheet of paper in an envelope. Anything thicker than that. That's why everything I post as large letter, just because I don't personally feel you can protect a card properly just in normal UK letter post. But yeah, it does mean that anything I ship internationally is at least a tenner.
Yep. Yeah. So that 25-pound submission. The weird thing is they asked me to value the card, and I wasn't sure how much to value it, because when I bought it, I know what I paid for it, but what it's worth now, it's not to say it's gone up, but I wasn't sure. So I took the two values of what I paid for it and what the last sold price was, and I went in the middle. So that's
it. It's such a the whole world of grading and how the companies set their price for grading your card. I think it's a bit churlish. Like, you have to, you could value it. You might look at a card and think, well, that's probably going to grade an 8, and at a grade 8, it's worth, say, $100, but it could come back like a 10, and a 10 of the card could be worth $1,000, and all of a sudden you've priced it wrong. And then certainly with PSA, if you put in, if you're signing like a J-Rod autograph and you value it at $50, that's obviously taking the piss, right? So like they'll grade your card and be like, nah, it came back at 10, so it's probably worth like $5,000. So you're now due us the difference between what you paid and what is now like the value of the level you thought it was going to be. You're now due us the difference between that and its actual level, and they'll hold your card until you pay that, and you won't get your card back.
I said, if I found my card was worth 10 times more than it's worth, I would happily pay that difference.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely, you would. Yeah, 100% you would pay it. But imagine if you think, all right, okay, this is going to come back. I reckon this card's pristine, and it's going to be a $5,000 card, and it comes back at 8, and it's only worth like a tenth of that, and you've paid too much for it. Does it work the other way? Do they send you your money back?
Oh yeah,
paid too much. I don't know. Like people who are far more experienced in the world of grading will be able to tell me that. But yeah, I think it's a bit of I can understand why they do it, because they want to make money, right? And so that's just the way it is. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to be keen to follow along with both of these. SGC famous for their vintage, of course. They're very well thought of in the world of vintage cards, and they do have normally quite a quick turnaround as well. So are you getting it posted back to the UK, or is it going to your brother?
It's going to my brother. So I'm just trying to see how long is my turnaround supposed to be there. I'll look at it there. I don't think it was too long, because again, I've got 10 weeks till I'm in the States, and that was my big thing, is like, can I get it sent in and turn around so I can have it shipped to my brother and I can pick it up there. So next time I talk to Fuzz, I will ask him to keep track of these things for me. So luckily, usually what happens, I go home and I order a ton of stuff online and I come just boxes full of stuff here, whereas this time I think it's only a few things, and I can be like, hey, I've set some cards for grading, they should be coming your way, can you let me know when you get them? And again, same thing, I'll get the notification saying that it's been shipped out anyways. So
of course, yeah. Very good. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to following on with that, and especially the hybrid labeling of the Project 70 card. That should be pretty awesome.
Yep. I mean, we've been talking about this for 2 years now. We should get these cards.
Yeah. I've still got plans. I've still got that big stack of the Allen and Ginter cards that are sitting in my collection. That I was going to do the TTM with as well, but rather than it being cards of baseball players, it's cards of celebrities. So doing the whole celebrity TTM stuff and try to get some cards signed that way. I still have designs on doing that. I will at some point. And I also have a separate stack of cards that I want to send away and get graded at some point as well. So this is perhaps the impetus to get it done now.
There you go. Or you just hold off until maybe July and just do it in person. Just
do it in person. That's true. Yeah. Just skip all that and submit them. Maybe submit them in person at the National if we end up there. If anyone's looking for a $6,000 Shohei Ohtani card, hit us up.
Yep, exactly. So yes, so all our Indian fans, let me tell you, it's a good card.
That's right. Yeah.
No,
we'll ship it anywhere in the world.
Yes, yeah. So, in case you don't know, if you're not a long-time follower of the show, we do have was it 2017 Green Refractor?
Green Refractor, yeah, from Bowman. It's Ohtani with a spelling error in his name, but he was just Otani. Green Refractor from the World Baseball Classic that year, which is first licensed Topps card. In the Green Refractor. So the base, a base one just sold in a BGS 10 for. Oh no, that's not true. It was another green. It was another green just sold very recently. But a Beckett 10 sold for $5,500 in one of the collector groups. So we have a PSA 10 with a much lower population report. I believe there's only 14 of them. They don't come up for sale very often, and we're now thinking it's time to move it along, and hopefully it will fund us a trip to Chicago in July.
Yes, we're gonna make it rain. We're gonna go to Chicago, make it rain.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, but yes, that's the plan. Like I said, hopefully we can find a buyer and then fund a trip in Chicago, and we've got potential accommodations. And if it all works out well, we can catch a Cubs and White Sox game because they're playing each other. So
yeah, I think that's probably. It wouldn't surprise me if that's scheduled on purpose. It probably is. Yeah, I do. Yeah. There always seems to be, if you look back at the history of the Nationals and the games that have been on at the same time, there's always been some belters. At the very least, it's the teams are usually at home, whether it be Cleveland or Chicago. Obviously, Atlantic City doesn't benefit from that, but when it's been in Cleveland and it's been in Chicago, the teams have always been at home. So yeah, I think they do coordinate it.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we're not saying we're going. We're just hoping we may go. So
hopefully. That would be kind of nice. No, I don't have another good segue. So Project 100 to close out the show.
So it's done. It's at the last set there. There are the last 5 cards. I don't even know what they are anymore. But. Hold on.
I've still got it open. I've still got it open.
I was sitting
so we've got Shohei Ohtani by Luke Westman, Adley Rutschman by Gianni Lee, Riley Green by Lewis West, Freddie Freeman by Mr. Cartoon. Did we speak about that one on the podcast? I don't think we did.
He did all Dodgers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it was Dodgers there. So because he's actually, we must have an exclusive agreement with the Dodgers right now. So he's blown up that way. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. He went with all Dodgers, and then Casey Stengel by Mike Wilcox. So yeah, over with a bang, over with a whimper.
It's over.
It's over. I think there's like 2 more days to buy it. I'm trying to see if it even tells you how much longer. Anyways, but yeah, so that's Project 100 over. No one knows what's going to happen next. It's a shame. Like the cards are actually really cool, but it doesn't say what it is. But what we didn't realize is they had slipped in logoed parallels from one to $2.99. So at some point, they
Oh,
put
okay.
those in there. So because somebody hit one, and I was like, wait, hold on a second. Like that was the whole point that no one bothered, because why would you want that? It was the fun of the chase, was the 101 and getting the 1 of 70 cards there. So they made a 1 of 299. So whether they sold out any of those, I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Hobby's kind of taking
that's
a
interesting. Yeah.
Hobby's taking a downturn, so I don't know if they even came close to selling those kind of numbers. I mean, if you look at the end of Project 100, most of those cards were around 1,000 on the best days, besides Party. So, I mean, who knows how many they've actually sold?
Yeah, it could be in the case of you ordered your base card and you got your surprise parallel as well, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So, so who knows what's gonna happen there? I've been following. Well, we're gonna call him Lewis because he's American. Luis. Hey, Lewis. Yeah. Yes. Or Louis. Lewis West had been following stuff on Reddit there, and released his last card. And what was the interesting thing I found about that was he only got to pick 2 of his 5 players. So him being a big Phillies fan, I think he picked the Bryce Harper and the Mike Schmidt, and everyone else tops gave him the 2. And his last card, he had a choice between Ohtani or Trout. So I don't know how I feel about that. I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? We sort of speculated on this before, didn't we, when we spoke about Project 70 and what we heard from certain artists about the trials and tribulations of getting Topps to approve the subjects that they wanted picked. And obviously there was a list, a much heralded list that was passed around, and you had to basically pick your players from the list, and that was it.
Yep.
So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Topps are going to want to drive sales, and as far as they're concerned, Mike Trout sells, Ohtani sells right now. Adley Rutschman is selling. Riley Green, the hot rookies from this year. J-Rod, we've seen, we've already talked about the J-Rod tax. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I guess it's not surprising. But then, like you say, perhaps it does taint the sanctity of the art, depending on the artist's viewpoint on it as well.
I mean, obviously, Mike Wilcox did all early 21st century players, Casey Stengel is not a high demand guy. I mean, I'd be surprised if he sold 500 of those. I think the Art Deco stuff's cool. Like, it's really cool, but do I want to go out there and pick it up? Nah, not really.
Not really. No.
I think if they include the 1-of-1 chase, absolutely. I'd probably buy a few of those because I think they're nice and maybe get lucky, hit that 1-of-1. But 1 of 299.
Yeah, not so much, right? Not so much. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could round out the show quite nicely then on the subject of parallels, because you managed to land yourself a couple of nice parallels recently, didn't you?
Oh, did I? Yes, I did. I had forgotten about that. I had forgotten that. Yes. So I obviously bought my 10-pack of the Harry Ford a Great Britain card, him with the crown and the cape. And I did hit 2 parallels. I hit a 1 in 25 and a 1 of 50. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. They're coming with me to Seattle, and I'm taking them up to Everett to go and see if he'll sign them. So apparently he still signs. We've got a new friend of the show, and we're hoping to bring him on sometime soon.
Yeah.
And he goes up to the show and has that there. So Harry Ford's interesting. He likes to sign, and he likes to add "Jesus loves you" on his cards.
So, that's right. Yes, we've seen this, haven't we?
We have that. So I don't know how long that's going to last, because at some point in time, if he gets to be a superstar or famous or an everyday guy, who knows there, like, obviously writing Jesus loves you is going to slow you down, so you're going to have to come up with a better.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So I'll be curious, because I guess, I mean, if we look 10 years down the line, we're still doing the show. Does that, or even 5 years down the line, he's going to have to cut it out at some point in time. Does that make those autographs worth more because he's taking the extra time to put into it than the normal ones?
That's a great question.
I mean, that's like the Ohtani kanji signs, the kanji ones there, and
yeah. Well, I mean, we could, the slow demise of Shohei Ohtani's autograph, we could wax lyrical on almost for a full hour. Yeah, his kanji autograph certainly does demand quite the premium because he signed very, very few cards in Kanji. I think he's probably signed more baseballs in Kanji than he has signed cards. And his autograph in Kanji demands quite a bit. Usually embellishments, again, speaking in general market terms, don't tend to make it better or worse. But like you say, if he's going to get to the Phil Hughes numbers of you signing thousands of cards for Topps, I don't think he's going to be embellishing each and every one of them. Perhaps it's something that might get saved for the numbered parallels. I know. Again, Phil Hughes was doing that as a bit of a laugh. He would put stuff on like the 101s, and I think the 101s certainly, and I think the numbered out of 5 and numbered out of 10 that he did for release last year, he was embellishing with various slogans. So maybe for that, but there's no way you could do them all. Like I say, it would end up taking you 10 times longer if you've got thousands of cards. I mean, how many cards did Gabriel sign? Imagine like trying to put all those together. I mean, if nothing else, Harry Ford is going to have some big numbers in the minor league releases this year. So like Heritage Minor League and Pro Debut, like, you know, those kind of things, and especially some of the maybe in later releases of Bowman. I didn't actually check 2023 Bowman checklist to see if he was in there. I only went looking for Gabriel just for a bit of banter before the show. But yeah, it's good. It's good that he still signs. If he is still signing in person, that's kind of awesome. But in the market tends not to look favorably on in-person autographs, even if it is, you know, hot prospects and whatever else. But you never know. Get them signed, get them authenticated, stash them away. Yeah, it could be worth something.
Yeah, no. So that's the goal. I'm hopefully all going well. See him twice when I'm out there, assuming he's not been promoted, so he can't be promoted till after the 4th of July. So.
yeah. After that All-Star break, please.
yeah. So that he's spent 3 months in Everett, and they can move up to AA, and I'll be happy with that. But yeah, so interesting enough, I have a fancy. This is going to be completely on a random tangent. I've got a fancy dress party to go to for someone's 50th birthday party, and I need a crown and a cape.
Oh, no.
So I absolutely have bought the exact same outfit.
Oh, God.
And now I will take that with me to Seattle, and I will go to the game. And the only thing I'm missing is probably a Team GB shirt. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get one of those or not. But yeah.
It depends on your 12-week delivery or not, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, yeah. So, but we'll see. So yeah, so you might see me and on the socials dressed up as King Harry.
We might see you on like local mugshots as well. That'd be
well, like I said. I mean, so to be fair, if you you guys don't know me that well, anyways. But I did dress up for my 40th birthday as Bob Uecker and went to Milwaukee. So
that was a fun day, man. I'm not gonna lie, that was a fun day.
So that was good fun. So it's not unusual for me to get dressed up for something and go there.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's quality that you got the cape and the crown, though. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good way to try and get attention.
Imagine that. I can't imagine there's too many people showing up to Everett right now to see Harry Ford in a crown and a cape and a Team GB.
Yeah, a crown, a cape, a Team GB t-shirt, and maybe a kilt. And I think you're going to stand out.
I'm going to pass on the kilt. Like I said, it's going to be like 30+ degrees. I'll go with the crown and the cape. We'll go with that.
You got to do it properly. Go big or go home, right? All right, awesome. Well, on the hideous thought of your knees peeking out from below a kilt, I think we'll round out the show for this week. So yeah, once again, thanks very much for listening, everybody. If you do have the time and the inclination, if you could go and vote for us for Podcast of the Year for the 2023 UK Card Collector Awards, that would be much appreciated. Go check out the website teeandtops.com. And you'll get all the information there. You can also follow us across our socials. The episode that you're listening to right now will be out as a podcast from next Monday. So that's the 24th of April, if my mathematics is correct. And Jason and I will be back for our next live episode on May Day, Monday, I guess. It'll be Monday, the 1st of May. Is that the coronation weekend, or is that the weekend after?
No, coronation, it's the weekend after that.
Okay.
But I do think the kids are off of school though, so
yeah, they will be off for May Day, but I'm sure we'll be able to squeeze the show in. So yeah, until then, thanks again everybody for listening. Jason, thanks very much.
Yep, thanks again, and guys, always good to talk to us. Drop us anything on the socials. You want to say hello? Like I said, we're friendly. We don't bite, and yeah, we're going to figure out which country our GB's #1 sports
right, yeah.
show.
We'll keep checking those metrics to see where people are tuning in from. That's for sure. All right, awesome. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Until then, stay safe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.